All right, we live, folks. Let's see. All right. Hello and welcome, Turtle Riders, to this episode of... Oh, excuse me. Let me pull that mic over. Is this thing on? All right. Hello, Turtle Riders, and welcome to this episode of Uncle Turtle Boy's Late Night Garage Podcast. Let me just adjust the sound here because I think it's probably... I'm going to have to keep turning this on and off so we don't get echo here. All right, so... This episode is brought to you guys once again by our good friends over at Garage Doors Plus in Quincy, fellas and ladies. If you're in the market for a new garage door or you just want to improve the quality of your existing garage door or update it or whatever, it adds a ton of value to your house or your commercial business, doesn't matter. Call our friends up at Garage Doors Plus in Quincy. You can find them online at gdplus.com. All right. They will come over that day. They will give you a price that is so fair, it will blow your doors off. No pun intended. You're probably going to hire them on the spot. And trust me, they're going to get it done that day. You're going to like it a lot. You're going to get a nice little clicker. You're going to press the button. Boom, garage door is going to go up. It's going to be magical. You're going to love it. So give them a call and make sure, especially you tell them the Turtle sent you, because they love, our advertisers love it when they know they're getting referrals from us. All right. If they're not getting referrals from us, then they're not going to keep advertising with us. So definitely hit them up and let them know the Turtle sent you. Great people, support us, support them, etc. All right, so how are we all doing tonight? Everybody's saying, I'm getting a lot of good comments about the audio. That's fantastic. I'd like to start doing some call-ins like Bristol does. So if anybody wants to call in tonight, you can message Clarence Woods Emerson, and I could take some calls as well. Not loud enough, you're saying? I'm not. Should I get closer to the mic? Sounds fine. Okay. So, anyway, let's start talking about a couple things. Let's dive right in. So, first thing I had up that I wanted to talk about was blog put up this morning about, it's kind of revisiting what we talked about last week, and that was the Amber Guyger sentencing. All right. She got 10 years in prison, which I thought she would get that. She could be out in 5 if she gets paroled, but quite frankly, nobody gets paroled on their first parole date. Usually they get it on their second to go around. And here's the thing with Amber Guyger, right? She's out of place in prison, man. She's going to be very out of place in prison, not only because she's a cop, but more importantly, because she's not cold-blooded, right? Like, prisons are filled with just vicious, deadly people, right? People who have committed so many crimes that the judge just can't put up with them anymore. And it's like, you got to go to jail, dude. You're out of control, right? Amber Guyger obviously had no criminal record before this. She didn't have a bad history. The worst thing you could say about her is she's a homewrecker, but, that's no crime. So she shoots a guy, albeit she was 100% in the wrong, and she needs to pay the price for that, because the guy is like the nicest guy in the world and just a class act. But she had no ill intention to kill this guy. Like, are you kidding me? Jail is for cold-blooded people, right? And I see some people are saying, I see Matt P say, I feel bad for her. I feel bad for her too. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, she took a life, and I feel worse for Botham Jean's family, obviously. But I feel bad for this chick. I mean, there's no taking back that mistake, but it was a mistake. It was not like she wanted to kill this guy, obviously. So I don't know. And keep in mind, prison for cops is like the probably a million times worse than it is for regular folk. Right? So it's a weird thing because clearly this woman is like, a lot of defendants are not remorseful at all. This woman's clearly remorseful. Like when she got up there and she took the stand, it was clear that she's hurting. And I think that mattered to the jury. And I think that's why they sentenced her to 10 years when they could have sentenced her up to 99 years. And I think even his family clearly realized that as well. And if you haven't seen this video, you got to watch this video. It is one of the most powerful videos I've ever seen in my life. This is Botham Jean's little brother, Brant, speaking to Amber Guyger. Hold on. Actually, I got to put the mic on for this. Hold on. There we go.
Say twice or for the 100th time what you've or how much you've taken from us. I think you know that. But I just...
Heavy, dude, heavy.
I hope you go to God with all the guilt, all the bad things you may have done in the past. Each and every one of us may have done something that we're not supposed to do. If you truly are sorry, I know I can speak for myself. I forgive you.
He forgives her. That's insane.
And I know if you go to God and ask Him, He will forgive you. And I don't think anyone could say it. Again, I'm speaking for myself, not even behalf of my family. But I love you just like anyone else.
Insane. Insane.
And I'm not gonna say I hope you rot and die just like my brother did, but I personally want the best for you.
It gets heavier. If you haven't seen this, it gets heavier.
I wasn't gonna ever say this in front of my family or anyone, but I don't even want you to go to jail.
Wow, insane.
I want the best for you. Because I know that's exactly what both of them would want you to do. And the best would be give your life to Christ. I'm not going to say anything else.
And let me just pause it right there, right? So, for people that hate on religion all the time, it's very popular to hate on people who are religious or whatever, right? You couldn't have this kid's, he's a kid, 18 years old. You couldn't have his state of mind, right? And the ability to be this magnificent, right? If it weren't for religion. Like, people shit on religion all the time, right? And sometimes rightfully so. It inspires a lot of violence in some cases, and just, rigidity and stuff like that. But the ability to be able to forgive like this, like, you can't do this unless you believe in a higher power, which clearly he does. And he actually means this, right? To be this forgiving. But it gets better.
I think giving your life to Christ would be the best thing that both of them would want you to do. Again, I love you as a person. And I don't wish anything bad on you.
Watch this.
I don't know if this is possible, but can I give her a hug, please?
Can I give her a hug?
Please?
Please. She asked twice.
Yes.
I mean, that's unheard of for something. This is never, I don't think it's ever happened before. Look at this shit. Look at that. Count the clock. 3 minutes it starts, right? she doesn't want to let go. And she also knows she's going to prison when she does. I mean, look at this. That's powerful, man. That's powerful stuff right there. Look at that. She's crying her eyes out. I mean, think of that. Like, that's crazy. Look how stoic he is. He doesn't want to let go. And this just goes on, man. It goes on. The judge hugs her. And a lot of people have criticized both the judge and even him. And it's absolutely insane, these race hustlers, and how evil they are. And this is why I kind of felt bad for her throughout the whole thing. Because it's not about her. This is about vengeance. This is about revenge for Michael Brown and Freddie Gray and perceived injustices of other black people who were killed by white cops, who, quite frankly, right, like Freddie Gray and Michael Brown were scumbags. They were not good people. Botham Jean was a good person. There's a huge difference there, obviously. And this is this guy wasn't killed in the line of duty or anything like that. It was a complete freak show mistake that never should have happened. And the bloodthirst that you're seeing from some of these people came out. Keep in mind, this is his family. These are the people who matter most. If they're willing to forgive, right, and hug her, then shouldn't we all? Like, that kind of says it all, right? But no, they're not. And this is some of the answers they get. Should have been him dying instead of his brother. I hate weak people like him. Always thinking turning the other cheek is the noble thing to do. Like, what? That's a common thing you saw on Twitter. You saw thousands, hundreds of thousands of tweets, maybe millions, just like that, from people who have the audacity to call him weak. He's not weak. He's strong. He's the exact opposite of weak, right? But whatever. He's just some loser with a burning passion. We've written about him a bunch of times. He's from Springfield. He's the head of the Springfield chapter of the NAACP. One of the most soulless, worthless bags of shit walking our earth today, Bishop, quote unquote. He's not a bishop. He's a fake bishop. All these fake pastors out there, right, who just went and got an online degree in freaking theology. I mean, Brett's a freaking pastor. That's all you need to know. Brett got his freaking theology degree online, right? Anyone could become a freaking pastor. Give me a break. All it is a way for these people to avoid paying taxes and permanently have like a position in the community that enables them to spread hatred from the pulpit, right? Like, I've been going to church for quite some time. I never once heard, like, don't forgive. It was the exact opposite, right? And this guy says, I saw the video of Botham Jean's brother talking about. Like, you're not interested in forgiveness or compassion, and you're a freaking bishop. And he's telling this other woman, shut the entire hell up. What kind of bishop speaks like that? You ever hear your pastor say, shut the entire... First of all, why do you have a blue check mark on Twitter? Like, what a freaking race-hustling piece of shit, right? This guy's the next guy I want to freaking completely expose. I guarantee this dude got tons of freaking skeletons in his closet. Fuck him. So anyway, Brett really did that. Years ago, back when Sarai Rivera... You guys remember Sarai? She was like one of our original nemesises. She's a pastor too. And that's when we realized that, like, Turtle Boy started in Worcester, but we realized everything going on in Worcester was just a kind of like a microcosm for society in general, right? So forever, like, Sarai Rivera is our version of Bishop Talbert Swan. She's a race hustling pimp who is a pastor somehow, right? But yet, in her free time, when nobody's looking, she calls people hoes. We got her on a hot recording that her sister gave us years ago, calling her sister TT Ho. So these people are all fake. They're all just frauds. And, look at this chick. Don't repeat. These people hate that. They hate the idea of forgiveness and moving on and getting along because it's not how they make money. This is the racism industrial complex in action, right? I mean, look at her Twitter bio. Reign of April. Hashtag Oscars so white. That's like what defines her. She started a hashtag about the Oscars being too white, right? She's the creator of diversity and inclusion advocate, or she's a diversity inclusion advocate, and she's a culture commentator. That's a job. That's a job in America, right? So I don't want to hear any more about how like the system is stacked against people of color in your press. If you can get a job as a diversity and inclusion advocate, that's your freaking job, right? Then you are not oppressed. The fact that that position even exists in the first place means that you come from a country that caters to race hustling, race baiting hustlers like yourself. Okay, so I'm not trying to hear that anymore. These people are bloodthirsty, man. There's nothing they hate more than that image of what they just saw, because that guy, Brant Jean, showed that people can be forgiven. And that hatred, he doesn't hate, they hate the idea that he doesn't hate her, which is insane. These people are all frauds. They're nothing but frauds. So, anyway, would she have shot a few? It was completely dark in there, right? She just shot a freaking shadow that she saw. The lights weren't on, right? She didn't know what the hell was going on. It's not okay. She should have walked out of the apartment. That's what I would have done instead of just randomly shooting into an apartment. What if it was like her lover, right? They went in there and like had a bottle of wine for her or something. He was going to rail the hell out of her after a long day of work. How about that? And she starts shooting. Like, obviously, you can't just start shooting. Police officers don't just shoot at objects if they don't know what those objects are. She's completely in the wrong. She did everything against her training, but she didn't do it with malice, right? And I think that's important. So don't act like she's like, you know. And then they bring up all her text messages and shit like that. And, you know, she'd made a couple off-color remarks. It's like, how would you like that if all your private text messages were just revealed, right? You know, I've probably said some fucked up shit because they're private, I assume. Unless you get involved in a murder trial, then nothing's private. So anyway, what about the red mat? I mean, some people have said that outside, like there was a red mat outside the door. But, yeah, I mean, absolutely, she should have noticed the red mat. I don't know. I have a hard time believing she did this on purpose, though. I don't see what her motive would be. She doesn't seem like an evil person. She just seems like a flawed individual, like many of us, who made a fatal mistake, and she can't take it back, and now she's going to pay the price for it, right? And if she serves 10 years in prison, like, you know, people are acting like that's not like a big deal. Like, imagine you had to go to prison for 10 freaking years. That ruins your life. Like, you're done. How do you ever recover from that? You don't get a normal job when you get out. Keep in mind, she's 30 years old, right? 31 years old. If she's in prison for 10 years, she's going to be denied the ability to have kids. I mean, that in and of itself is devastating for a lot of women, right? That want to be mothers. Like, that window closes for her permanently now. So they're acting like she's getting away with this, right? 10 years in jail is a long freaking time. It's a long time, man. So she's paying the price. And, you know, jail is supposed to rehabilitate you, right? The longer you stay, like, you can get out of jail on parole if you've changed and you've learned the error. You've had time to reflect. But what's she even going to reflect on, right? It's not like she was like this horrible person. She just made a mistake, right? So she will get parole. They usually don't get it on the first try, but she will eventually get it. Is she hot to you? Of course she's hot. Like, there's no denying the fact that she's very attractive, right? But that has nothing to do with it. She can still have kids. If she got out at 41, you're pushing it. Let's be honest. You're pushing it then. Her best chance is to get knocked up by a CO, which isn't altogether out of the question at this point, I think. Anyway. All right, let's go on to the next topic, shall we? Unless you guys have anything more to say about that. I want to talk about the Trump video. Have you guys seen this? Oh my God. Let's go into politics, because I love politics and I don't really talk about it that much in the blog. I like to talk about it more on the live show. And yesterday, Donald Trump, President Troll, who is just, guys, I watched this last night and I couldn't stop laughing. He's the only, let me just say this about Trump. I don't necessarily agree with a lot of everything he says and does. I think he tweets too much. He could probably improve his overall standing if he, change some things. But then I think about it and it's like, is there any human being alive today that could better attack and point out the hypocrisy of the mainstream media than Donald Trump? There's nobody in the Republican Party, and we owe him a debt of gratitude for that, right? That's probably the greatest accomplishment of his presidency. There's not going to be a wall, right? Nothing else matters really to me except for the fact that he has completely exposed what we've all seen for so many years. Remember back when like CNN was considered like unbiased, like that was like the neutral one. That's the default channel on at Planet Fitness. Not anymore. It's been completely exposed. That is the one beauty of him, is that he has completely taken on the media. And rightfully so. Like it's opened my eyes to it in the last few years with Covington, with Kavanaugh, with all this shit, one after another, with the Russia hoax, right? Every single thing has turned out to be a media lie, right? All the fake race hoaxes. We never saw this stuff before him, right? We never saw fake race hoaxes. Now, like they came around once in a while, but they weren't common like this. It's every freaking day. So that is his greatest accomplishment. And so now they're coming after him with the Ukraine stuff. I haven't followed this much at all. I find the whole topic extremely boring. A lot of people are into it and they're talking about whistleblowers. I don't even know what the hell they're talking about. I don't have the time or the patience or the attention span to care that much. I don't think anybody really cares that much, to be perfectly honest with you. Right? They're just looking for a reason to get him. If he did something wrong, if he called the guy up and told him to do something, guess what? I don't care. Right? I care about my problems, right? How does him talking to some Ukrainian president about Joe Biden's kid affect me? And at least it doesn't. I don't care. How does that affect my day to day? How does that affect groceries, like price of groceries at the store or the cost of gasoline, right? The things that affect me the most are the ability to speak freely on the internet. That's my biggest concern. And one side of the aisle is firmly against that, right? So yesterday, he tweets out possibly the greatest troll job in the history of the internet. He tweets out a Nickelback video of Joe Biden and his son Hunter with this Ukrainian oil exec who I think, I don't even know the whole story. I don't really care, right? But all you need to know is Biden initially denied knowing the guy, and then Trump tweets out this bad boy because it's still on YouTube. Where'd it go? This is just marvelous. Is the mic still on? Yeah, it's still on. Okay.
Have you ever spoken to your son about his overseas business dealings?
I've never spoken to my son about his overseas business dealings.
Look at this photograph. Every time I do it makes me laugh. How did our eyes get so red? And what the hell is on Joey's head?
I mean, I've watched that so many times, guys. I've watched it so many times. It's priceless. It's absolutely priceless. I don't know what I did the wrong one. Hold on. Let me turn this one off. So there's no echo. Oh yeah. So I've watched it so many times. It's just brilliant. Like, look at this photograph. He couldn't have picked a better song. Obviously, it's not him doing it. It's whoever's running his, social media or whatever. He's not that talented or creative, but you couldn't have picked a better song. He even says, "What the hell is that on Joey's head? Look at this photograph." Every time it makes me laugh. It's like, oh my God, I've watched that had over 100,000 retweets, and then it got taken down for copyright infringement because Nickelback, who should be happy to be relevant at all, wasn't happy about these people. These bands always hate when Trump plays their music, but they trademark infringement or something. I think it's bullshit, but they took it down. But you can't censor it forever. It's out there. It's on YouTube. Oh my God, I've never laughed so hard in my life. That is the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life. So, I'm this Captain Frogger dude. Goodbye. I'm putting him in, let's see. I'm going to remove him. Can I remove him completely? Because the people who come on here and just talk about Josh and Hot Tow Truck Girl, I don't watch you here. And it makes me not want to talk about them. Because, again, I understand in the last month or so, we've probably had about 2,000 people. A lot of them are Abrams people, Abrams cult. This ain't the Abrams show. Abrams is one of thousands of ratchets we've profiled, and there will be thousands more after him. So I'm going to go ahead. I don't know if I can ban them outright or if we have any other mods on there, if I need to add more mods. But I see an option to report, remove. Remove just removes the comment. Put the user in timeout. Hide user on this channel. Okay, I'll do that one. I'll hide him. Okay. So, I have no interest in. I'll talk about whatever the hell I want to talk about, and you can sit there and like it. If you don't, go fuck yourself. Go watch the Huffington Post or go watch Josh's videos. Oh, right, he can't make any because his ass is going to jail. So, anyway, I thought that shit was. Oh crap! I thought it was absolutely hilarious. The Twitter gods did not think so, and let me just say this about Kamala Harris. Or Kamala the cunt, as I call her. I thought Elizabeth Warren was bad. I thought she was like the reincarnate of Hillary Clinton. No. And she's bad. But the reincarnate of Hillary Clinton is Kamala Harris. That is the closest thing we have to Hillary. You will never see anyone as fake, as disingenuous, and as evil as Kamala the cunt cop, right? And the greatest person on the left, right, who I'm honestly contemplating getting a yard sign, is Tulsi Gabbard. Every day she says something more beautiful than the last, right? This week she was talking about specifically censorship on social media, and she thinks that no one should be censored. And I think that's a great thing, right? Because Kamala the cop comes out and she says that she wants Donald Trump kicked off Twitter. She's been tweeting about it. Watch this. Watch this video with her and Tapper.
So you're on the Senate Judiciary Committee. You're a former state opponent.
Well,
By calling on foreign powers, Ukraine and now China, to investigate his political opponents.
been doing as it relates to the beats, but I will say, Jake, that it is
Calling on foreign powers, Ukraine and now China, to investigate his political opponents.
Oh crap! I gotta play the audio. I guess switch the audio.
Well, I will see as the impeachment process proceeds, but I will say, Jake, that it is a classic case in terms of what he's been doing as it relates to the whistleblower, to an attempt to suppress evidence and intimidate a witness, which is why I've also called on Donald Trump's Twitter privileges to be revoked, because he has, even as many other members of Congress have indicated, he seems to be eliciting fear and threatening a witness to what could be a crime against America and our democracy, and to try and suppress that evidence. And that is a classic example of a crime.
She wants him, the President of the United States, removed from Twitter. Not even kidding, right? Go to her page. Hey, Jack's Jack Dorsey, the CEO of Twitter. Time to do something about this. Do something about what? Well, let's see the tweet that she has a problem with. This is what she wants him banned for. As I learn more and more each day, I am coming to the conclusion. Oh, I got to do it in Trump voice. As I learn more and more each day, I am coming to the conclusion that what is taking place is not impeachment. It is a coup intended to take away the power of the people, their vote, their freedoms, their Second Amendment, religion, military, border wall, and their God-given rights as a citizen of the United States of America. So, what? He should be banned? What? For what? What did he say there that's bad? He's just like, he's literally saying that I don't want to be impeached, right? Impeachment's bad. This is a coup. These are opinions, right? But what the left has become very good at is this whole shtick they do, where every time you disagree with them and you call them out publicly for it, you're inciting violence. They learned this with Ilhan Omar, right? When the "some people did something" comment happened. And Donald Trump retweeted a video of her saying that, and they're like, "Oh my God, you're inciting violence against her by playing her words. Oh my God." This is what they do now. And this is how they know that we have freedom of speech in this country, and they know they can't stop that. So what they're trying to do is use the old fire in a theater routine, yelling fire in a crowded theater and causing a panic, right? They're always trying to say that because you said these words, someone might hear it, and then they might, violence might come of it. They blame every mass shooting on his tweets. It's absolutely fundamentally absurd, and anybody who subscribes to this has no business being anywhere near a position of power. Think how dangerous that is. If we elect anyone to office who thinks that it is their job as president to lobby the public square, Twitter and Facebook, to lobby them to ban their political opponents. That's insane. That's evil, right? We can see right through it. Why does she want to do this? Because she knows that he's mastered social media. Even though he fucks up all the time, he says stupid shit. He wouldn't be president if he didn't know how to tweet. That's just a fact. So, think of that. Like, if this woman's in power, if she becomes president of the United States, this is what she'll do. She's fucking evil, man. She's the most evil bitch since Hillary to ever run for president. I would rather see Elizabeth Warren. I would rather see any Democrat than Kamala the cunt cop Harris get elected president of the United States. There's never been a bigger threat to your civil liberties than a Kamala Harris presidency. She's fucking evil, and I cannot stress that enough. I fucking hate her with every ounce of my being. I fucking hate her. All right, so that's my my thoughts on her. I don't know if you guys have any more thoughts. Who do you guys think is the biggest threat? I'll tell you one thing, and I've said this before. Every day, it becomes more and more clear that it's over. Elizabeth Warren is going to win the Democratic nomination. Every day she rises in the polls, right? Every day she gains a new supporter. Every day she gets more money. She's leading in New Hampshire now. She's leading in South Carolina. She's leading in Iowa. She's leading in every state. She's going to win. It's over. She's going to win the Democratic nomination. And every day, Joe Biden looks worse and older. And Bernie almost died yesterday. And Kamala Harris is a cunt. And remember Mayor Pete? Oops, who's that guy? I don't remember him. And Andrew Yang is giving away $1,000. Nobody gives a fuck. Right? It's going to be Elizabeth Warren. And it's going to be Trump. And it's going to be awesome. That's the best possible matchup you could wish for if you're a Trump supporter. So, sound is terrible now? You guys were just praising my sound not too long ago. What's wrong with the sound? Anyway, Spartacus, yeah. I almost forgot Spartacus is running. Right? Sound sucks, but when are you going to talk? Okay, I was going to talk about Hot Tow Truck Girl. Now I'm just not. Fuck it. If you guys came here to talk about that, I don't want to please you. So, here's my thoughts on her. She's a drug addict skank whore who's where she belongs, in jail. She was arrested yesterday for larceny, $1,200, and that's it. What else is there to say? So, I didn't turn off the computer mic. Exactly. Damn it. Nope, don't want to do that. All right, so hopefully that's better now. What else did I put on the agenda? Anything you guys want to talk about? Because I'm not talking about them. Fuck them. All right, if anybody wants to call up, they can call up on the Clarence Woods Emerson. Just give me a buzz. Or if you want to talk about anything that I talked about or whatever, wild card, give me a buzz. All right? All right. Tony Bryant is gone. Goodbye. Goodbye, banned. Give me your thoughts on Antifa. They're a left-wing terrorist group. That's what I think of them. And CNN and Chris Cuomo in particular and Don Lemon have embraced them for whatever reason. That's what I think about Antifa. It's like that, right? And quite frankly, you don't get to... Outside of Massachusetts and our bubble here, nobody gives a flying fuck about Josh Abrams. Nobody. And so that's why you guys want to keep talking about Josh. Your audience doesn't grow from that, right? You got to talk about national issues, things that are on people's minds, right? Nobody cares about some scum rat, junkie, Suboxone slime from wherever, Wakefield, wherever else. Nobody cares about him. So ultimately, that's why we're not going to waste our time with him. Yeah, Brittany, I can make you a mod, sure. How long do you run your show at night? I mean, usually this goes half an hour to 45 minutes, usually, sometimes longer, depending on what we're talking about. Yeah. Audio is still popping. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. Anything new with the KC case? No, there's been nothing new on the law. You know, I mean, it's good for my mental health, quite frankly, when I don't have the... I don't do well mentally when the lawsuits come around. Like, I start getting, like, anxiety, and, like, I've never had before, because it's just very overwhelming. So these last few weeks in which there's been no lawsuit drama have been very nice. But I know when it comes up, the Casey Hill one I'm not worried about because the ACLU has my back and they're taking care of that. So talk about a load off my chest. But it's the Azadnia one. And there's a link in this YouTube that you guys can click onto the fundraiser, in which we greatly appreciate any and all donations you'd like to give to the Turtle Fund for that. Is Tibbetts still on the run? No. Tibbetts was arrested yesterday, and we got his bloody mugshot. We got an update on him. Tibbetts is in jail. Yeah, a little static there, huh? That's okay. All right, anything, activists trying to stop Shapiro from speaking at BU? I did not know that. I'll have to check that out. I'm kind of done with Ben Shapiro. I think he's kind of a fraud, to be perfectly honest with you. I think Ben Shapiro is a hustler, and I don't think he's that talented. I just think he's a spoiled little rich kid who grew up, everything was handed to him to life, and somehow he's become this, all he's good at is like roasting 19-year-olds, and that's really not a talent, quite frankly. And I just think there's better, and somehow he's become like the de facto voice of conservatism, and I think there's better than him out there. So I'm kind of done with Shapiro, to be perfectly honest with you. Yeah, check that cable. Let me see. Is this making sounds? Let me turn this on so I can hear. Yeah, check that cable. Let me see. How about that? Testing 1, 2, 3. How's that sound? How about that? Yeah, like people are saying Michael Knowles. Yeah, my favorite person on the Daily Wire is Matt Walsh. He's the best follow. Definitely give Matt Walsh a follow. I like Michael Knowles. He's okay. Paul Joseph Watson, one of the best. Highly recommend Paul Joseph Watson. I highly recommend Jesse Kelly. If you guys follow Jesse Kelly, he's one of the best too. Will Chamberlain's another very good follow. As far as conservatives go. But yeah, I'm just not into like the whole like, oh, cool, you can roast a dumbass 19-year-old social justice warrior. Cool. You know, a lot of people can do that. So I'm just not that impressed by it. The new Pats kicker, doesn't matter. They're all the same. Felger and Maz actually did a good job on the kickers today. I was laughing. I listened to them for the first time in a long time. You know, it's like all the kickers in the league suck. They're going to miss big kicks. So Gostkowski was just another one of them. He's not really hurt. This is Bill's way of benching him. I don't know. Too much static. Get over it. It's going to happen. Let's see. I mean, I don't know how to fix it at this point. Is it because of this? I don't know. I don't know if that's better. Who knows? But any other questions? If you want to call, if anybody wants to call in, you can. If not, AOC baby fetus eater. I'm not that familiar. Yeah, Andrew Clavin's good too. He's very good too. That's the thing. It's like Shapiro has surrounded himself by people who are more talented than him, quite frankly. I mean, Shapiro just, the only thing he cares about it really is Israel. And I get very bored with that topic, right? And his thing with Israel and being Jewish, like, he does the same thing that social justice warriors do as far as like self-victimization. He does it all the time, right? About like, oh, you're anti-Semitic. You're attacking me like because you said, you know, you criticized Israel, you're anti-Semitic. It's like everything to him, it's no different from the people who race bait. And I started realizing that after a while. I'm like, man, this guy's kind of a fraud. Kind of is. Hillary in the 2020 race? No, not going to happen. Not going to happen. What about Colorado allowing girls to go topless? Yeah, I haven't been following that much, but nothing surprises me anymore. What's the call-in number? You got to call on Facebook. Clarence Woods Emerson. You can just call me on here on Facebook. Thoughts on the B-17 crash in Connecticut? Very tragic, obviously. The loss of life was tremendous, but those are amazing planes, too. I cannot believe that happened. I feel like it should be a bigger story. They actually flew out of Worcester Airport a couple weeks ago, too. Just a tremendous, tremendous loss. Absolutely awful. Oh, another person who I love as far as conservatives go, I don't like Hannity at all. I think Hannity's a blowhard for conservatives who are from another generation, right? But I love Tucker Carlson. There's nobody better than Tucker Carlson right now as far as standing up to mobs. Like, Tucker Carlson's like almost a hero, right? Because that guy does not give a shit, man. He does not give a shit. He tells it like it is. And as a result, these Media Matter frauds, they all go after him and they attack him. And Tucker does not give a fuck. He just fires right back. And he just refuses to capitulate to these people. That's such a rare quality these days. Ben Shapiro cowers to them. Cowers to them all the time. Tucker Carlson does not. He does not give an inch, and I absolutely respect the hell out of that. Thoughts on the weirdo who bailed out of the Uber and got hit by a car on a Monday? I haven't seen that. Send over the story. Fake news on the Connecticut vape death. I mean, yeah, this whole vaping thing, guys. Jesus Christ. What an absolute disgrace Charlie Baker is and all these hustlers trying to make it seem like this is some sort of crisis. It's the fakest crisis I've ever seen in my life. Give me a break. And I don't even like vaping. I've vaped once in my life, and I'd do it again. And not for for weed, obviously. I'm not going to smoke tobacco out of it. But the vaping ban, I've talked about this before, is complete bullshit. Not only does it undermine our civil liberties, the way it was done, the thoughtlessness involved in the effect that this would have on business owners was just evil. Pure evil, so that Charlie Baker can feel good about himself. What a fucking fraud Charlie Baker is. The sad part about Charlie Baker is that's as good as it's going to get in Massachusetts. Like, believe it or not, it gets worse than him. Like, the guy, Jay Gonzalez, is worse than him that ran against him. Like, that's the best we can hope for in this state is Charlie Baker, and that's sad. All right, that's sad. Yeah, I should have a burner phone. I got to talk to Bristol and see how she does it. She sets it up through, like, Google, where you can call a phone number up. Maybe I'll start taking that. Did you see the alleged racist comments at Dartmouth High? I did not. Kid wearing a hood and a staff member allegedly told him he looked like he was going to rob a convenience store. Haven't seen it. Nothing surprises me anymore. Yeah, I think there's 3 current vape store owners that are filing a lawsuit against Charlie Baker. But the thing about lawsuits is they take years. You know, I know because I'm involved in them. So by the time that happens, this whole ban's going to be over. It's going to be 4 months. They're not going to find anything, and they're just going to lose 4 months of business, right? And if you can't afford to take 4 months with no revenue coming in, your business isn't going to be in business anymore. Yeah, and yeah, you guys see Rashida Tlaib Oh, good God. The squad, let them keep talking. Let the squad keep talking as far as I'm concerned. She goes down to the Detroit police station with the chief of police to look at some recognition software, right? Face recognition software, and she's there, and she's looking around. She's like, the only people who should be working in this are black people, because to white people, black people all look alike. Because people mess up Elijah Cummings and John Lewis all the time. Elijah Cummings and John Lewis are both elderly black men who are bald, right? They're bald. That's what makes them look similar and elderly. Yes, they are both black. Nobody confused John Lewis with Barack Obama. They're both black, right? It's because they're old and bald. And the idea that black people have magical powers to differentiate between other black people is insane. It's insanely racist. And the chief of police, who is black himself, called her out on that. I mean, let them keep saying shit like this. This is who is going to be in charge this is the alternative to Donald Trump. This is why I couldn't possibly be a bigger Donald Trump supporter. Not because I like him that much, but because I like that he represents this, like, bulwark to madness, to complete madness. Yeah, New York City made it a crime to say the word illegal immigrants. What? That's a complete violation. These people hate the First Amendment. They hate speech. Hate speech isn't the problem. Them hating speech is the problem. And if they gain power, there is nothing they will not do to silence you. Just understand that. Just understand that. So, yeah, I know the mic. I mean, how many times you guys are talking to the mic? The mic sucks. It is what it is. So, are you confirming, regardless who wins Democrat vote, you're voting for Trump? Yes, that's correct. Unless it's Tulsi Gabbard, in which case I'd think about it. But it's not going to be her, so it doesn't matter. All right, I'll go back to the computer mic. Hold on. All right, better? All right. Any other questions? Sorry about that. All right. Any last minute questions you guys want to ask me? Well, I guess it was really bad, huh? Good audience tonight, though. Good crowd. We shut all the Josh people up, too. Any recommendations you guys want? Anything you guys can ask me about the blog? It's all open season. Anything. You going on with Kirk or Cooner soon? They invited me on Cooner this morning, and I missed it, so I couldn't get to go on. However, listen to Kirk's podcast tomorrow. Jerry Callahan's on there, and he's got an announcement. Jerry Callahan's starting a podcast, and he's going to be having a casting couch. And I think somebody you may know may be on that couch. So keep your ears open to that. Listen to the Minahan podcast tomorrow. There might be some news coming. The Emerson College kid. Yeah, sad story. We'll see what comes of that. Any update on the Bedford burglary that totally was? Diggs to New England? We'll see. Probably not. How do you do podcasts? So I still haven't figured out how to get this up on SoundCloud. If you guys noticed, the last two haven't gone on SoundCloud. I could put them up there. I just don't know how to do that. I could probably just talk to my tech guy and he could do it. The woman murdered in Worcester. How fucked up is that story? I mean, once again, the guy that should have been in jail 8 months ago raped a woman. Not just like had too much to drink and was unsure about Consent. No, this was like he took a knife to her and said, "You're going to suck my dick or I'm going to kill you." Like, that's insane. And he is out on $1,500 bail. And shocker, he killed again with a knife. So, anything coming up on the blog on Turtle Boy Sports in general? I got my eye on a couple stories. The real investigative stories take a lot of research and time. I got my eye on a couple things, but I don't want to give too many spoilers out. Are you going to go see The Joker? I haven't seen a movie in like a couple years, so maybe we got to do date night again, Mrs. Turtleboy and I. I don't even bother with it anymore. But maybe we should go out again. It's just too much work to get a babysitter and shit. All right, any other questions, guys? My dog farted. Thank you. Do you know anything about Greta Thunberg? We've talked about her on a couple of older shows. Look them up. Have you heard anything about Juice and Jeremy? Yeah, he's still a piece of shit. Still a professional con artist and a liar. He'll be back in jail in no time. Just wait for it. How goes the Fantasy Football League? I kind of talked about this in the last episode towards the end. Okay, 2-2. I don't know who's winning the game right now. But I'm killing it in my Pick'em League. Leah Genduso's abortion, guys, is going to win. And I have Seattle tonight. Given 1.5. I don't know how that... What's the score in that game? Did I win again? Because I'm like 39-22. It's like insane. Complete luck. I'll have to check the AOC video in my latest blog comments. I can't wait to see that because you all know how I feel about AOC. Do you think they'll pick a conservative with Jerry? Jerry wants a liberal. He wants like a Tomasi kind of guy. And it wouldn't work with the shilling. It wouldn't work. I'm not shilling though, right? I'm more like Kirk. I'm more like, yeah, I'm right-leaning, but I got a lot of other shit to say besides just political shit. And I also am not afraid to like go against Trump at times. See what I'm saying? Seattle's down 20-14. Oh, for fuck's sake. That means they can't cover the spread, right? It's a 1.5 point spread. They're down 20-14. They get a touchdown. They're going to win by 1. They're not going to cover. So I'm fucked. I'm down 2 touchdowns. I'm fucked. I'm going to lose that one. Oh, well. I hope Jerry doesn't pick Reamer, or I can't. I like Reamer, but he can't pick Reamer. Reamer's got like a job, so he can't do it. I hope he picks Tomasi, to be perfectly honest with you. But I don't think that's going to happen either. I mean, good luck finding, people like Tomasi and Reamer who can sit in a room with Callahan are rare these days on the left. They're very rare. Okay, so KK, because they've asked about Josh 5 million times, is officially blocked. Goodbye. That's my rule. Okay, they're only in there. Okay, so we can get a field goal and a touchdown. We'll be good. How old are my kids? They're 2 and 4. 2 and 4. Anyone catch Triple E from those mosquitoes? No. Again, Triple E is the only thing faker than the Triple E scare is the vaping scare. Give me a break. All right. Any other questions? You're starting to block people like Owen Benjamin. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not really like a blocker, but if you're not going to add any Discord, if you're not going to add anything worth talking about here, you're literally just taking up space. I'm trying to read comments, and I read your stupid shit over and over again. You're just getting in the way. So, goodbye. I've made it clear that if you ask about Josh, or you ask about when are you going to talk about this, you know what I'm going to talk about Josh? Whenever the fuck I feel like talking about Josh. You're not going to come on here and dictate the content of the show. Not how it works, folks. I talk about whatever the hell I want to talk about. Okay? So, why don't we call it a night then? And we will see you all on Saturday night for the live show with Brett. Maybe we'll have another guest with us. We got to get some of the girls back in the rotation and intern turtle. It's been a while. All right? Peace, Turtle Riders.